Radio Shouting.
What's happening? Of course, you know it's your folk, Beehive Radio Shouting. Stepping in the building, I got some of the greatest producers of all time in this thing. Beats by the pound. What's good with it, fam?
Well, first, I got to represent. I have to represent. I'm sorry.
Come on with it. Cass. Yes, sir.
Come on.
I ain't mad at that.
Don't play with me.
It's good to be back in the building.
Exactly. Glad to have y'all back in this thing. So now, I mean, fellas, out here in these streets making it do what it's supposed to. What the hell is going on with Beats by the Pound right now?
Let's start with Kel.
The doc.
Ooh. What's happening?
We out here working on it. That's the reason why we out here. First, Mobile was telling me it's about that time that I got in there with you.
Yeah.
Because he did it with you already.
Exactly.
And he said, you had my mic hot waiting for me.
For some years now, KL. Yeah. For some damn years, nigga.
Indeed. Yeah, indeed.
We out here working, man, and promote my album.
Yeah.
And just out here to put that work in. We wanted to just get out into another atmosphere. Sphere to work. And you had to come here.
So now, when it comes to the documentary, fellas, piecing everything together, getting ready to tell y'all story, what has that been like, just going through the memory museums in this thing, trying to figure out what is it that you want to put out, what is it that you want to keep to yourself, or is this just the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Well, honestly, man, we are, of course, Cuz put out, the docu-series of the No Limit Chronicles of BET. He did his thing. He told his part of the story. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're going to tell our side, but for the most part, we're going to celebrate all the contributions that we made to the culture itself. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, of course, we came together under the umbrella, but me and KL, we decided to become a team in the first place, and we created the Beats by the Pound brand. You know what I'm saying? So we want to celebrate those accomplishments, the brand, and everything that we did before, during, and after the No Limit experience,
When we talk about the accomplishments, though, man, we're talking about these records that got sold. I mean, is there any other production team that's moved as many units as Beats by the Pound?
I'm going to tell you like this here. When you get down to the point of doing the numbers, what is it they say? If men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
That's right.
So if it's based on numbers, because what you like is an opinion based on music, food, clothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just your taste.
Yeah.
But the numbers is, that's not, you can't, that's just self-explanatory. So when you look at 26 albums in 1 year, over 20, and 20 is the minimum, so I'm going to just stay at 20 songs per album. You multiply that's like 520 songs a year. That's just 98, not 95, 96, 97, and 99.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that point, and you're going to based off careers, based off the work you put in, who did more than that?
Oh, man, you even look at KL and Manny. They've been doing, the DJ verses. I just did something in Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
And they did one a couple of years ago. One here, one in New Orleans.
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and Manny even said his own self. Said, bro, is KL gonna stop? Because he's playing stuff from that catalog, man.
Yeah.
And he's missing songs. Right. Some that ain't even playing. And not to mention this guy here, Don Juan, will make a proper introduction to him.
Yes, sir.
He's from Full Pack, which is a legendary production team which is our brother. You know, we don't hate. We have a fraternity of beat makers and producers and stuff like that. They took over after we left No Limit. You know what I'm saying? He did the Shake It Like a Dog, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? DJ Big Fest. You know what I'm saying? He was the second half of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, the body of work speaks for itself, man. Like, you know, I mean, we work from can't see in the morning.
Can't see.
Can't see, you know what I'm saying? So we got it in, man, you know, so.
Can y'all speak to me about that zone that y'all was in, though, man? What was it like having all of those creative producers on deck, all of those artists on deck, and being in that zone? And what was it that kept y'all locked in for so damn long? Because we're talking about year-long zones. Some people go into a zone for a week. Some people go into a zone for a month, maybe a year, but not 5 years straight of just going crazy. What was that zone like, fellas?
I'm going to tell you like this here. We gonna touch the music and production part last. Mm-hmm. People don't realize what was put in between.
Yeah.
Like, we mixed our own records. We engineered our own sessions. We troubleshooted to where, like, if we're in the middle of a session and a machine broke, we pulling one out, putting it on the table, putting another one in.
Talking about the ADATs.
Yeah, and while we putting another one in, we have one of the other Beats by the Pound members cleaning that one and fixing it, and then changing another one out in another room, and they don't see that part of it. They just look at production. I mean, like, when we got in that zone, it's nothing that we couldn't do. We fixed our own equipment when it broke.
We wired it up. We wired it up.
We wired our own studio up. We did our own beats. We never, No Limit. Outside of DJ Darryl, K-Lou, there's a few, with Full Pack, my brother Don, but at the moment at No Limit, we didn't get outside production. You know what I'm saying? And so we had to handle the load for everything that came with making, recording, mixing, and engineering a record.
And not to mention A&R.
And A&R.
We A&R that thing. You know what I'm saying? We brought in a lot of that talent. A lot of it came through KL, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll say the bulk of it came through KL. Like, so for, who all came through you, bro?
Mystical, Serve, Soulja Slim, Fiend, Mac. Like, there's pretty much, outside of Fiend and Mac, the rest of them was on my label. So when I came to No Limit, all of that came with me. Because Soulja Slim had a chance, the opportunity to go with Cash Money.
Ooh.
It's knowing like, nah, Funky B, wherever you going, that's where I'm going.
Speak on Soulja Slim and a young soldier coming into the game and you recognizing his talent early on, man. What kind of artist was he early on? And did you know that he was a legendary person in his own right?
Slim was a bounce artist. But back then, bounce was gangsters that didn't know how to rap, but they wanted to make music. Bounce was, it's not what the twerking and shaking shit you see now. It was about niggas on the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that beat. And they bouncing gangster shit. It's like you had the twerking and shit that came, it kind of played its way in it, but it wasn't dominant. Like when you look at Soulja Slim, Juvenile, UNLV, any artist that was the shit, Mystical probably was the only one that really didn't go there. You know what I'm saying? But when you came from New Orleans, in that era, when we came dealing with P, you did a bounce record. But the thing with Slim was how I found out, like, because I used to always DJ in the Magnolia Project. So one time he just came up there. I was on the tier. Because, it was 2 floors. So I was up there on the balcony and I was DJing, and he said he wanted to get on the mic. So I gave him the mic. And so when he got the mic, I started running the records, and he squatted all the way down so nobody can see him because they were looking up. So he was rocking it.
Yeah.
And so they was looking up there trying to figure out what record that was, and then I pulled them up, and they saw it was Slim, well, Magnolia Slim at the moment.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, that's Slim. So they was rocking off, and I said, look, come by me, and we're gonna start making real records. And the moment he came by me, that was it.
Rest in peace, Slim, man.
Yeah, but at that time, you know, Mystical was always back and forth from the military. You know what I'm saying? Mac stayed literally around the corner. Fiend stayed, well, Fiend from the 17th, but his mama was like down the street from Mac.
Yeah.
Juvie was in a Magnolia. If you felt like taking a 5-block walk, Juvie was right down the street. You know, you got to look at the Magnolia and the Callio and the Melpomene. These projects are walking distance from each other.
Yeah.
They were that close. So, you know, pretty much everything uptown in the basement where we started, where we recorded the Bout It album at, was where my mom's house was and my grandmother's house. So everybody had to come there just to be in there. That's when Baby and P first met each other. And they was talking about working together. I'll never forget. I just made the Bout It beat. And Baby came in there with skullduggery. P was in there with Silk and I think it was Silk. I think it was just Silk. Probably King George. And I had 6 Shot and Magnolia Slim already. And it was all up in there freestyling off the Bout It beat. And I never, as soon as we finished, P and Baby walked outside the basement, stood at the foot of the driveway and was talking. Like, you know, having real good casual conversation about, you know, making shit happen.